Hello all, Catmonic here, diverting from my non-existent schedule to bring you news of my conquest at the UK Nationals 2023, which is to say, I bested 1 duelist and 2 chairs. Not the best record in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I had a fun time, mostly, and I wanted to share that. Even if you don't do particularly well, you can have a lot of fun. You just need the right mindset for it, and to be prepared for losses. So, as for what I was playing, I have a grand total of 2 different archetypes covered on my channel so far, in how-to style guide videos. Have a quick guess at which one it might have been. This is by no means the best version of Arctic you could play for the SIAC format, pre-ban list, because the ban list dropped mid-event. It is, however, the build I am the happiest with, which didn't cost me my life savings to build. I am no fan of conventional hand traps, cards like Ash Blossom, Imperm, or Nibiru, and so on. I don't like how they force you to play the game around them, or include answers to them in the main deck, or how they've become a near necessary evil in the current game. Also, I just have a habit of picking decks which coincidentally die to Ash and Nibiru really easily. Point being, I don't play any conventional ones because I dislike them, to put it mildly, despite the fact that Nibiru is really easy to run in Arctics. I made the decision to use a Go First main deck on the Friday before the event, which I regretted as soon as I got back to the hotel room and was chatting in the Arctic Discord. However, after the event was done, I was very happy with my choice. The idea is to open Radiation, your opponent doesn't open Droll and Lockbird, and start summoning. This was realised more often than you'd think, given that Droll was pretty much the best hand trap in the format. My ratios are pretty much ripped straight from the template in the Arctic video, but opting to swap Megabilis and Megapolar due to Kashtira being probably the strongest deck, and DD Crow being useless in that matchup. I cut Gizmegarochi down to 1, where I normally play him at 2 or 3, because I still wanted an easy to summon level 8 for Zolkin, but if I get the 1 into rotation, I shouldn't need more than 1, and the other cards I included felt more necessary. Like Junk Converter. It put in so much work by being a normal summon, which effectively establishes a Baron loop. You synchro summon Baron using Converter and a Mega, summon back the Mega using Converter's effect, and as long as you have enough interactions that your opponent doesn't clear Baron and the Mega, you can tag out in the standby phase for Converter and repeat. Ice Shade Adrian Ran is just a level 10 synchro on summon, or an alternative way to reach Zolkin, and was my most often used route for Zolkin during the tournament. It only waterlocks you if you summon the token, so Ran and any Mick is Zolkin. Moulin Glacier, the Elemental Lord, helps with the level 8 count for trade-in, is a non-tuner for Zolkin, and can rip 2 cards from the opponent's hand. The extra deck is pretty predictable. Polari and Septentrion at 2 in preparation for Kashtira, Chariot at 1 because it's still good but better going second. Wolfriet at 1 because it is one of the best level 9s I could make, Shen because it is the other. As much as Kashtira is the best deck and Shen does not hurt that, there are other decks, and Shen sometimes just wins you the game. Baron, Cheng-Ying, and the Ice Shade Synchro are the level 10s of choice. Baron for obvious reasons, Cheng-Ying and Adrian are both pretty solid and what I intended to make use of Ran for. 2 Zolkin because I couldn't find a 4th target that I really thought would be particularly great for the event. The 3 targets we did run are Crystal Wing, Clearwing Fast Dragon, and Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. The side deck is pretty much for going second. The plan was that Alpha, Golem, and Bigfoot swapped directly for Converter, Moon and Glacier, and Ice Jade Ran. Didn't work as much as I'd hoped. The remaining cards are the last copy of Megabilis, Spell and Trap removal in 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Feather Duster, and 2 Danger Thunderbird in case it is more relevant to pop set cards. Also, I already have 2 Thunderbird, so I couldn't play 3 even if I wanted to. And that's the deck breakdown. Let's go to the matches. The exact breakdown will be on screen, but I lost all rounds bar 5, 9, and 10, which for some reason doesn't put you in top cut of the event. I enjoyed for the most part every round. Flu was a potentially winnable match, which feels very strange to say. Drytron was very interactive, Kashira was a good grind game. The Danger Dark World matches were completely different from the rest of the tournament and entertaining. Round 10 was slightly annoying in the fact that it's still just a free win and no opponent, but it was pretty chill because by that point plenty of people were in that situation. We were all just able to chat and have a good time. The reasons why I didn't enjoy some of these rounds is because everyone gets salty time to time or has ways they hate to lose, decks they hate to play against, and so on. I'm no exception. Branded Despia locked me out of games 2 and 3 using the Expulsion Dragon, which I will put on screen, to give me Raz Disciple. Round 5 was just annoying to exist for. Most everyone was dueling around me, and while there were empty seats, it felt like I was practically the only person to just not be doing the thing I came to do. I didn't even have the chance to get locked out of the game because there was no game. I don't know how many people share my view, but I would rather play and lose than get a free win and not play at all. Salaman Great plays about as many hand traps and board breakers as they do actual cards from their archetype, which is annoying to play against when it's not how the deck functions specifically, something like Cyframes. I later learned that a fair number of people just dropped after losing 2 rounds, because you can't make top cut if you lose 2 matches, which explains rounds 5 and 10. During round 10, all 7 or 8 people on our table had no opponent, and there was plenty of space in between each pair. The table behind us had another 4 players in the same situation, and the table in front had at least another 1. Which is what made round 10 particularly enjoyable. We were all just able to chat, have a good time, and that brings me to the end of my fairly short video on my trip to UK Nationals. I really enjoyed the experience overall. While I don't feel like I really won a duel during the event, due to the 2 free wins, and the second Dark World player being worse than both the guy I'd faced last round and my brother who helped me test, I managed to pick up some cards from the vendors which I can find at my locals. There are pro players, YouTubers, and the average Joe all there who just show up for the exact same thing, which feels pretty cool to take part in. I played as good as I reasonably could, with very few misplays, and feel like I've improved at the game, both since I started playing and simply after playing at the event. Had a blast, and I look forward to maybe going to the next one. It's a good time, I'd recommend it. Definitely go with friends though. Makes it a bit easier, allows you to do something between the rounds. Anyway, I hope this brief video has been useful, if not enjoyable. I'm Cat Monarch, and I'll see you next time.